You're watching the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. We got some bad news on the Jaylen Watson front, as his ankle injury that he suffered in the win against the San Francisco 49ers could be season-ending. More on that in a moment. On today's show, we're going to break down potential replacement options. Who could the Chiefs turn to at the corner position? We'll discuss that, give you our full list of potential trade and free agent options in just a matter of moments. Let's start with this update from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who said the following on Tuesday morning. Chiefs defensive back Jaylen Watson will undergo surgery in the coming days for a broken fibula tibia. I think I said that right. Ankle. After tests confirmed the injury per sources, outside chance he's back for a late playoff push, sources added, but his season very well could be over. This is a huge loss for Kansas City. When you talked about this Chiefs team entering 2024, the big question marks on this squad were the offensive line, the receivers, and the corners. As L'Jarius Sneed departed, the big question was who was going to step up. And we talked about on this channel how much Jaylen Watson had answered the call, how well he had been playing, that he was one of the best man coverage corners in all of football. So now the Chiefs cornerback room looks like this at the moment. Johnson starts at the left corner spot with Trent McDuffie on the other side. Conner at the nickelback spot, and then Williams and Roland-Wallace are your other two corners at this point in time. But we shall see if the Chiefs make any more changes of where they go from here. We'll go over our list of replacements in just a bit, but first, all week long in the lead up to Sunday's game against the Raiders, we are in a super chat battle with our Raiders channel. Mitchell Renz, the host of the Raiders Report, I mean, the guy is just a total fraud. And I got to tell you, I would love nothing more than to beat the Raiders Report in this sub-battle this week. We don't want to beat the Raiders just on the football field, but we want to beat them off the football field as well. Look, I've seen Raider fans, and there are some pretty shady people, all right? We cannot be losing to those nasty Raider fans. Sub it up, sub for dubs. If you want to beat the Raiders, if you want Chiefs coverage all season long, you got to subscribe to the channel. Lock us in for free. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. To subscribe now, you'll be glad you did. Let's start with Jonathan Jones of the New England Patriots. Jones at 31 years of age, and this is a guy that's a very versatile football player. In this circumstance that the Chiefs are under here, they got to do some figuring out, right? What are they going to do to make this secondary room complete? Do they need to move some pieces around? Luckily, a guy like Jonathan Jones, he can play outside. He can play nickel. He can even play some safety. You can plug him in, and he'll find a way to adapt accordingly. Undrafted out of Auburn in 2016, signed by the Patriots, was a part of 2 Super Bowl titles with the New England Patriots, so he's got some championship DNA in him, and a lot of experience in his career. 122 games played with 64 career starts. And you go back to 2022, that was a very strong campaign for Jones, as he had 4 interceptions that season. And as much as we love Trent McDuffie, believe me, I love me some Trent McDuffie. He's one of the best corners in football. But Trent McDuffie is not the guy you're looking for to grab interceptions, right? You need somebody else to potentially do that, to be your ball hawk type, if you will. Jonathan Jones potentially could come in and be that playmaker, could be a good complementary option to Trent McDuffie in that sense. Should the Chiefs trade for Jonathan Jones? It's our pinned comment today. Weigh in, let us know. Type T for trade, P for pass. If you would like to see Jonesy, another Jones, I love that name, in Kansas City, weigh in, let us know. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players at any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, home runs in baseball, all sorts of different categories to choose from. And with Prize Picks, they got a great offer right now. When you play $5, they will give you $50 to spend for free. You don't have to win to get the money. It's a great offer. that they are giving you at PrizePicks.com/SaleItS, promo code SaleItS. And with the start of the basketball season, I'm going with Anthony Edwards to have more than a half a point. I feel like that's an easy one. And then I got Karl Anthony Towns to have less than 21.5 points. If I put $20 down and this hits, that turns into $60 on Prize Picks. Play along with me, PrizePicks.com/SaleItS, promo code SaleItS. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Chiefs Report. Glad to have them on board here on today's show. Next up, we turn our attention to Greg Newsome II. He's a player we've talked about a decent amount here on this channel. The Browns are collapsing, and it's quite hilarious, to be honest. As Deshaun Watson struggled, they already moved on from Amari Cooper. It is a full-on fire sale in Cleveland. And you look at Greg Newsome II, this is a guy that's got a ton of potential. He's played at a high level already in the National Football League, primarily used as a nickel corner. He could be a natural fit for this Kansas City Chiefs defense. More on Newsome, a 2021 first-round pick out of Northwestern, was an all-rookie team selection that season. And although he's very young, he's got plenty of experience to his resume. 48 career games played with 42 starts in his very young career. He's been outstanding for the Cleveland Browns to this point. I like what I've seen from Greg Newsome II. And you think about this Kansas City Chiefs team, this defense that they've assembled, a guy like Greg Newsome, I think, has got some untapped potential. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs defense, this is a Chiefs defense that we've seen Spags really get the most out of, really pushes guys to the limit. And with McDuffie now on the outside, he could be kind of similar to what McDuffie used to be at the nickelback spot. I think he'd be a great fit. What do you guys think? If you had to pick one, would you rather trade for Jonathan Jones or would you rather trade for Greg Newsome II? Type JJ for Jonathan Jones. Type GN for Greg Newsome II. Get your predictions in now. Let us know which one you would like to trade for. Type JJ for Jonathan Jones. Type GN for Greg Newsome. Let them know in the comments section. Up next, let's talk Jaycee Horn, the corner from the Carolina Panthers. He is the same age as Greg Newsome II, just 24 years old. And this is a guy that is a freak athlete. This guy just jumps out of a gym. He turns heads, athletically speaking. And he comes from an incredible football pedigree. You may remember his dad, the former Saints wide receiver Joe Horn. And that's not all. His brother, Joe Horn Jr., also a National Football League player as well. A first-round pick out of South Carolina by the Panthers. He's played in 29 career games with 29 starts. And that Panthers team, just so awful, right? This is another one where, similar to what we talked about with Greg Newsome, where I feel like he really just has, some unleashed potential that the Chiefs could potentially find here with Jaycee Horn here. You look at the numbers of what Jaycee Horn has done in his career. His best season, you go back to 2022 when he had 3 interceptions, 7 pass breakups. So far this year, he's already matched that pass breakup total to what he did in 2022 with 7 pass breakups, 1 pick, 32 tackles, 2 TFLs. Very good football player, Jaycee Horn. Up next, we will go to one of the oldest players on our list, and that is Darius Slay Jr. of the Philadelphia Eagles. And Darius Slay Jr. at 33 years of age, lots of experience. He was on the Eagles Super Bowl team a few years ago against the Kansas City Chiefs. And when you look at these midseason trades of what goes on, these midseason trades, you're looking for guys that are ready to jump in right away. And this is somebody that I think could be built for this type of situation for Kansas City, of the hand they're dealt right now. You look at Slay's resume, was the NFL interceptions co-leader in 2017, and that was his best season as he was a first-team All-Pro that season, 6-time Pro Bowler. He is going to have a case to potentially be a Hall of Famer someday. Began his career with the Lions and then went to Philadelphia shortly there after that. And you look at his statistics of what Darius Slay has done. I mean, he's been very consistent. I think that, this Eagles team, they got some young talent, right? With Cooper DeJean and among others there. It's a crowded corner room, and I think they're potentially looking to move on from Slay, and this could be a natural fit for what the Kansas City Chiefs need right now with what he's shown he's able to do and still play at a high level despite being 33 years old. I got one more name that we'll talk about in a moment, but first, name a corner the Chiefs should add. Who comes to mind that you would like to see on this Kansas City Chiefs team? Weigh in, let us know who you think that is. Last on our list, the only free agent we're talking about today, that is Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson, 34 years old, and this is somebody that is a future Hall of Famer in the National Football League. But the question becomes, how much does he have left? Because last year when he was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, let's just put it this way, things did not go great for Patrick Peterson last year. Was with the Steelers, was with the Vikings and the Cardinals before that, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, an 8-time Pro Bowler, part of the NFL's All-Decade team. Nobody on this list is going to have a better resume than what Patrick Peterson has done over the years. But is he too old? You look at these statistics, and you go back to 2022, just a couple of years ago, had 5 interceptions and 15 pass breakups. Last year, there was a lot of criticism for Patrick Peterson by how much he got beat in coverage, but he still managed to have 11 pass breakups and 2 interceptions there. So it's a possibility, and you could probably get him pretty cheap compared to some of the other players out there. For continuing Kansas City Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Chiefs Report. We got you covered each and every day on the channel. I'm Tyler Jones. We will see you next time.